prayed for rest and still felt empty. We rush through life asking God to slow things down. And then when He does, we don't know how to sit still. Welcome back to another episode on the Hope and Renewal podcast. This is your favorite host, Antonio Banks. I want to thank you for tuning in. I hope and pray that this message speaks to your heart. And if it does, that you do not keep it to yourself, but you will share it with somebody else. So I bet most of you will agree with me on this episode tonight, because you catch yourself doing it. See, you hear it almost every day, and it's not always loud. Sometimes it's a quiet thought, a comparison, a complaint you didn't even mean to form. See, we live in a world that is never satisfied. If it's cold outside, we wish it was summer. When summer comes, we complain about the heat and wish for winter. We'll go even further. When we're single, we want companionship. When we're married, we miss our freedom. See, we rush through weekdays praying for the weekend, then rush through the weekend dreading Monday. See, we always say we need rest, more time, less pressure. And the moment the schedule lightens, the moment the hours slow down, anxiety creeps in. We miss what we complain about. Suddenly, the burden feels like a blessing we didn't recognize when we had it. And the Bible doesn't tiptoe around this at all. Ecclesiastes chapter 5 verse 10 says, "Whoever loves money never has enough. Whoever loves wealth is never satisfied with their income. This too is meaningless." See, that verse isn't saying work is bad. It's just telling us that provision doesn't matter. It's exposing something deeper. How easily our peace become tied to numbers, hours, paychecks, stability we think we control. See, we keep chasing enough, but enough keeps moving. The more we cling to it, the more restless we become. And we'll even complain about a brand new car we just bought, a car we once prayed for. Instead of gratitude, we're frustrated because the seats aren't heated or the steering wheel doesn't warm up. I want you to think about that for a moment. There was a time when we didn't even have a car at all. We were walking, catching rides, taking the bus, and depending on someone else. So what changed? It wasn't the blessing. The perspective. Gratitude fades when comfort becomes normal. And let me be honest for a second, because this is what we do on the Hope and Renewal podcast. This is why I made this podcast, because I want to be honest. This was me. See, I wasn't chasing money, though. I wasn't chasing cars, houses, or status. I was chasing fulfillment in people. One woman wasn't enough for me, and sometimes not even two. See, no matter how desired I felt, how accepted I appeared, how full it looked on the outside, I was still unsatisfied. And I was unsatisfied for a long time. I told myself it was just a desire, just weakness, just temptation. The truth was more profound. And it wasn't about sex. It wasn't about conquest. It wasn't about love. It was about a hunger I didn't know how to name. See, I avoid and I kept trying to fill with people who were never meant to carry that weight. Every time the moment passed, the emptiness was still there, louder than before. So that's when I realized something painful and freeing. What I was looking for in others was something only healing could address. I didn't need more attention. I didn't need more affection. I needed restoration. So when the heart is wounded, it will reach for anything that promises relief, even if it causes more damage. Brokenness doesn't get healed by being fed. It gets healed by being faced. Let me say that again. Brokenness doesn't get healed by being fed. It gets healed by being faced. See, today I can be honestly and say this. I am blessed and I am thankful today. And I am deeply content in my marriage. And like we always do on the Hope and Renewal podcast, we go back to scripture. Not to sound religious, not to be lectured, to prove this truth. See, everything we're talking about is still happening today. The Bible isn't outdated, it's diagnostic. When we understand, then we make sense of now. Let me tell you about someone who had everything and still wasn't satisfied. King Ahab. Ahab wasn't broke. He wasn't overlooked. He wasn't waiting on God to bless him. He already had power, wealth, a palace, and a kingdom. One thing he didn't have became bigger than everything he did. In 1 Kings chapter 21, Ahab becomes obsessed with Naboth's vineyard. See, Naboth said no. That one no unraveled him. Scripture says Ahab went home angry, lying on his bed, turned his face to the wall, and refused to eat. A king with a kingdom acting like a child. See, that's what dissatisfaction does. It closes our eyes to blessings. Here's the danger. It didn't stop with his feelings. It led to manipulation, injustice, the death of an innocent man. Ahab didn't sin because he lacked. He sinned because he wanted more. See, dissatisfaction rarely announces itself. It whispers, it's just one more. I deserve this. It won't hurt. Appetite doesn't know when to stop. So if we don't confront it, it will cost us more than we planned to pay. The vineyard was never the issue, the heart was. And I want to close with this. Contentment isn't about having less. It's about recognizing that more won't heal what broke him. What Ahab needed wasn't another possession. It was surrender. So here's the question this episode's leave with us today. What are you still chasing? Is it healing you or just keeping you busy? See, healing begins when we stop running from our emptiness and allow God to meet us there. And that's where peace is born. Not anymore, but in a healed heart. I want to thank you for tuning in to the Hope and Renewal podcast. If this episode spoke to you, then please share it with somebody else. Go comment and do not forget to subscribe.